Secrets that the Fortnite pros won't tell you, but I will. In this video, I'll cover some secret tips and game knowledge that most pros will not tell you. But before I get into the secrets that Fortnite pros won't tell you, please do drop a like and subscribe, as it does help out the channel. And with that out of the way, let's get into the first secret that most Fortnite pros will not tell you, which is confirming edits behind protected peaks. Confirming edits behind protected peaks seems like a very simple thing to do, but a lot of players do not know this, and this is something that pro Fortnite players do on a regular basis all the time. And unless you watch pro Fortnite gameplay, you're not going to probably figure this out on your own. Confirming edits behind a protected peak sets up a nice peak for you without you exposing yourself, and the opponent doesn't even realize you've already set up this peak, so they're walking into a trap without them even knowing. A good example of this is having a peanut butter edit in front of you, holding a distant wall, making an edit on there, and confirming it once you're behind the peanut butter edit appropriately, and then you'll be able to take a free shot on your opponent. This will catch average players completely off guard and is a basic mechanic in the game that is neglected by mid-tier players because they just don't know about this concept. So learn to confirm edits behind protected peaks, and you guys will definitely elevate your game. The second secret that Fortnite pros won't tell you is why they pick the drop spots that they do in ranked. Dropping and landing in ranked is a very particular thing for Fortnite pros, and there are two correlations that I found between all the pros that seem to be a game changer between an average player and a pro player. Most of the pro players will land in a spot where there are heals on landing. Now when I say heals, I'm specifically speaking about shields and quick shield. They will land somewhere where there's like a slurp truck or slap juice or something like that, where there is quick instant blues so they can get an HP advantage in the first fight. This HP advantage is something that is very crucial to winning early game fights on landing, and a lot of people don't realize this. If you guys just land on some heals and get yourself even a really terrible weapon, most of the times you'll win your trade because the HP advantage is so huge, especially if you use your environment to peak. You're going to win the fights 90% of the time just because you have a huge HP advantage. The second part of picking their drop spot is the mobility out of the zone. Now with this new rank system, Arena has a lot of mobility, but before, and I'm sure in future seasons, we're not going to have so much mobility available to us. Picking a landing spot that has a geyser near it, or some kind of crazy zip line or wind tunnel, something like this that is going to allow you to rotate quickly and get out of sticky situations very fast, is going to give you a huge advantage over your opponent. We've had previous seasons where we've had guaranteed spawns for things like swords or ballers or anything like this, where you have the mobility guaranteed to spawn in a certain situation. Having this available to you on your drop is huge for rotating zones and going ahead and pushing enemies as fast as possible, so you guys can get momentum in your loot pool and you can dominate your opponent. As flawless as pro players may be with their mechanics and amazing aim, they still make mistakes. Something that sets a pro player apart from the rest of the players is their ability to recognize when they made a mistake and capitalize on it. And what they do to do this is look at their opponent the entire time they are playing and pre-fire any mistakes they make. You'll see this with players like Clicks. If he gets coned, he'll look at his opponent and shoot the cone, hoping that he'll get a pre-fire off on his opponent. He'll try to guess when he's going to open it up, because at this point he's already made a mistake, he's already been coned, and chances of him getting out of that box before his opponent opens up, shoots him, is very low. So it's better for the pro player to go ahead and make a trade of some sort than to try to run out of the box not looking at your opponent and just getting shot without making any chance of a trade. You can still of course move out of the box by moving left or right while still looking at your opponent. This is super important to get used to, is being able to take a situation where you're at a disadvantage and still try to make the most of it. Most players will kind of give up or completely try to flee the situation instead of trying to make that trade. Of course, that trade's not something we want to make, but in certain situations where you're already forced into a tough situation, you might as well try to take that HP swap and have a chance of turning a negative situation into a positive one. The fourth secret that all pros definitely have is confidence. Now, confidence is definitely the huge factor for what sets apart a mid-tier player from a high mid-tier player. At this point, if you have good mechanics and you have a decent aim, you are a mid-tier player, and the only difference between you and someone that's a little bit better than you is probably not their mechanics or their aim, it's probably going to be their confidence. If you can do triple edits and side jumps and all these flashy things, you're up with the rest of us. The truth is confidence is what you're most likely lacking, and this obviously comes with time and getting engaged in multiple fights over time, but confidence is something that you just need to have. Again, referencing Clicks, someone that I do enjoy watching, or even Polarized, you'll see them constantly tell themselves that they're the best, or even tell themselves that they're the GOAT. And if even with clicks, when he's taking his shots, he'll completely whiff a shot, but he'll go and say 200 pump, 200 pump. He's telling himself the next shot's gonna be 200 pump. I'm gonna 200 pump this shot's a 200 pump. I'm going to land a good shot because I'm that good. Telling yourself and having this level of confidence is what sets apart the good from the great. I know it's just a mental aspect of the game, but the mental aspect of the game definitely translates to the physical. You're gonna take better peeks. You're gonna be the predator and not the prey. You do not want to be the prey. If you are the rabbit that is mousy and scared, you're going to get swallowed up and eaten alive by your competition. You need to be the wolf. Do not be the rabbit. Okay, guys? So please do figure out how you're going to get yourself some confidence. Have a little bit of an ego. You don't have to be mouthy with it, but feel like you're one of the better players on the field in the game, and that will help you perform a lot better. You do not see players like Polarized, Mr. Savage, Peterbot, even humble players like Booga. They all have confidence. They might not have an ego, but they have confidence in the positions they're taking, the rotations they're making, the decisions they're making. And if they make a mistake, they are confident that yes, I made a mistake, but the next time I'm going to do even better. And that is something that a lot of pro players will not tell you, because they want you to feel like you're the rabbit, the little mouse that is going to be eaten, swallowed alive. The fifth thing is using a cone to peanut butter at it instead of jumping. This secret is something that I've watched a lot of players start picking up in the last few years, and what this is when they make a peanut butter at it, instead of jumping, they run up to the middle of the cone to take their shot and create the peak. Now what this does is it creates a more consistent situation for you to aim in, as well as it creates a situation where you have more mobility because you're not stuck jumping in the air. And this is a really good habit to have when you do not have a floor above you. When you take a peanut butter edit and jump, you hit the floor above you most cases, especially in box fights, which kind of launches you down a lot quicker than you normally would if you didn't have a floor. If you don't have a floor above you when you jump up, you hang up in the air a lot longer than you normally would, which exposes you way too much. So if you're going to do a peanut butter edit and not have a floor above you, please learn how to use the cone underneath you to create the peak that is safe. And this little mechanic slash tip is going to help you add this into your game and become a better Fortnite player. Now I wanted to kind of wrap this video up with something that a lot of players don't think about when it comes to a lot of the pros and how they think, the secrets they have. The thing that I wanted to bring to your attention is how they got to the level they are at now today. So they have passed the level most of us are at. They've been grinding scrims, tournaments, and PGs for the last 3 years or so, and they've actually forgotten all of the hours they most likely put into grinding mechanics and learning basic game sense. They probably can't even remember what they did to get to where they are today, because they've spent the last years playing tournaments. It's like a basketball player. If you ask a pro basketball player how to shoot a basketball, they're probably going to tell you, oh, you just put it in your hand and shoot it. It's not a big deal. They'll try to walk you through some basic steps. Maybe they'll tell you, you know, you need to keep your eyes on the rim, you need to have your feet squared, but they might forget to tell you, hey, you need to have your wrist in a certain position. You need to have this elbow here. And if you have your elbow out to the right too much, your shot's going to go out to the right. Things, small techniques like here's how you palm the ball and have the ball leave your index finger and your middle finger. Don't have it leave off your thumb or your ring finger. These small details, they know off by heart, and they don't think about these small details when they're shooting a basketball, but they do them regularly without even thinking about it. So they forget to tell you or don't know how to convey or figure out how to help you guys improve. So what I'm trying to say is when a pro Fortnite player makes a specific edit in a certain situation, they don't even know why they're doing it anymore. They just do it because they know that's right. They've been in so many situations and so many different weird scenarios that they just know what to do without thinking about it. It's not say, oh, he's over here, so I did this. He's over here, so I just am here. It's not, there's no thought process that goes through that. And you need to realize that yes, PGs and tournaments and all these things, scrims, are going to help you improve, but you still need to put those hours in grinding your mechanics, learning basic game sense and basic peaks to improve in Fortnite. And that's one of the secrets that pros can't tell you because they're not even thinking about those things. They're so far beyond the level that we're at that we kind of forget that they already did put those hours. Players like Clicks were playing when they were like little kids. All these pros started playing years and years ago and have already done the grinding and got the foundation. And now it's time for us to build our foundation and hopefully move into that realm of being a high tier player. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to use code AMPLE, AMPLE. If you don't mind as well, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.